the end of Valentine's month. I'm going for a walk. My first walk in Calgary. The weather is beautiful. Why the fuck not? I got a message yesterday saying, remember the things, the simple joys you used to love. A huge simple joy for me is going for long walks. So, I know what.
Before I put it in her place. Who you think you is, babe? I'm who they wanna be. Got that apple bottom falling out my jeans like it's a tree. Diamonds yellow, bitches think they sippin' tea, but girl, it's pee. Got the game on lock, so who you know could really fuck with me? Spanish poppy, when we talking, I'm bilingual. Don't worry about them other niggas, babe, I'm single. All these bitches wanna copy me like Kinkos. Bad bitch posted with me, who is that? That's my amigo. Beat up, got the neighbors in here knocking on the floor. Time to heat up, bad bitch, see her when she walking through the door. If he ain't spend it, she could have him, man. That nigga gotta go. Say that it's up, but they still counting all this money on the floor. We been balling off the course, we be really making plays.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know if this is allowed, but I just walked through my junior high. A few students looked at me and some teachers, but no one asked me why I was there, so it was cool. I was just strolling real quickly to see if there's any teachers I could recognize. It's so weird being in there. I'm passing by my old lockers. Now I'm in this field where we did the Terry Fox run, where we've had outdoor gym before. This area is the dry pond I used to hang in. This sounds so weird, but I brought some beers to school and I just like had some drinks there with my friends, like right in the middle. There's the public library. This turned into a retirement center. I haven't seen this building before. It's so cool to see all these changes. Wow.
Make you feel sad every day. Do that first man.
Oh, really?
You make me cry too. Stay alone better. You go wherever you go. I got your incident already.
Never seen him drink so much
Yeah.
before.
Sometimes talking with each other, fighting.
Yeah.
Like that. Not good every time.
Looks like he's listening to your story. He's so cute. You're gonna be the protector, Tito.
I'm tired.
No fish. He had so much fish before. One day I came home from high school and then we see fish everywhere. We're like, what the heck?
I want to change the figure how a little bit. But I'm not sure your dad want know. If you need a job, you can ask Charlie. I think maybe they need people for you.
I don't know if I want to stay in Calgary.
Don't waste your time too long. You thinking which one is good for you, you catch it. You understand what I mean? Right now, your egg grow up every day. If you spend your time like that, you're gonna waste your egg. And when you got old, it's hard to find a job too. Nobody don't want to bring the old people.
Finishing my crochet maxi skirt, my first ever skirt, and my first bottoms that I'll actually wear. I'm super excited about it. It's so perfect for winter. It's thick, it's heavy. I feel like it'll be warm. I named her Lilith's Princess. Transition of my shadows, with my shadows. Leo is in Lilith for me. More evolution towards the Leo archetype itself through expressing my creativity, letting my inner child take the spotlight more, letting myself shine and be optimistic, be positive despite my environment. My shadow really helps me. It's almost like I know when I trigger other people's shadows. I know when people are projecting on me. The last 7 weeks of working on this skirt feels very sweet. I started this skirt at the spa. I worked on it while at the hotel, the airport, the plane, and I finished it here at my childhood home. It feels very poetic, symbolic, and a conclusion. I chose to make a black skirt, yes, to have a staple in my closet for a superficial reason, but also black as a color is so powerful, it's protective. I did spots of rainbow, because rainbow to me feels like limitlessness. It feels like a coming together, some luck, Why not add it onto there? Then I finished it off with a black and gold yarn for the tie around my waist that my dad bought me. And that just feels like symbolic in its own way. I had some high hopes that my dad would be a little bit excited or show some pride in the fact that I finished something so amazing. But he took one look at it and he just shook his head as if he disapproved. I asked if he liked it. He didn't really say anything. I'm at this point where my creations don't need to be validated by anyone else other than me. This skirt, putting it on, made me so happy. Knowing how much time and effort and love I put into it makes me happy. And at this point, I don't need someone else to cheer me on about what I create. I don't need even my family's approval or energy towards what I do anymore. My inner child was just like, oh, okay, that sucked that he didn't really show anything about it. Today is February 26th. The time spent towards my creations was more intentional, especially today. I woke up at 6 with only 4 hours of sleep, but I felt like I couldn't go back to sleep. I felt inspired to write in my story that paragraph a day. So I did my paragraph in my story at 6. And then I actually felt tired after that, so I slept for a couple more hours. I woke up to doing my meditation, my daily tarot reading. Then I jumped right into editing. I even finished editing my next YouTube video way sooner than anticipated. And that's because I actually put a lot more discipline into my daily schedule. I used to be so okay going with the flow, doing my creations at any time I wanted. But that was fine for the season it was in, trying to reframe what time means for me, not do it off of a factory worker mindset, but more of a no, I'm empowering myself through the choice of the time that I have and use. Time was more intentional, and that made me be more productive in a healthy way. I didn't get excited for finishing my YouTube video earlier just for production's sake. It was genuinely being happy that I created something from discipline. And then the rest of my evening, I didn't work on anything at all. I just spent time with my sisters. Having myself be on a more disciplined time schedule really helps me be more present for sure. It is something I want to practice because when I was more go with the flow, doing my creations, it almost felt like, oh, if I kind of spent half the day starting the day not really focused on anything, then it made me feel like by the end of the night, oh shoot, let me work on this because I didn't do it yet. That would kind of intrude on my time with others. It actually does coincide with Pisces in the 6th house for me, and that's a focus for me currently this month. We're going to get into that during my Pisces reflection, but it's actually really exciting to see how I'm following my astrology within the year so balanced. I thought I had a structured routine before. I want to get all of this done in a day, and I do eventually get all the stuff done in a day, but it almost felt like I was letting myself stay in a mode of pleasure all the time. And I recently watched a video with AWwlexis saying if you give yourself too much pleasure, that could turn into pain, not feeling prepared or even focused at all by the end of the night because I was too much in the pleasure mode of, oh, I have all this free time, I could do whatever I want. It's all in balance, it's all in moderation. I'm grateful for the last few years of learning that I'm so free with my time. Now getting to create a structure around it on my own is so powerful. I feel like today triggered a lot of shadow within my stepmom. Yesterday, I tried to do my routine upstairs around her. I thought, it just being the two of us, I could get a lot of things done. I could be very focused, do my journaling, do my editing before my sisters got home. But the way that she kept walking around me asking me what I was doing, asking me about my YouTube, saying I don't make enough money from it, saying I'll never make enough money from it. That stuff is very distracting. Of course, I don't take it to heart anymore because I believe in my channel, I believe in my creations, but it's annoying. At the end of the day, it's just still annoying to hear. So today I made a choice. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna even go upstairs at all until my sisters get back home. I could see the frustration for her in that. So difficult being around lack of awareness, so they don't even notice the discomfort that they're creating from the things that they say. And I don't want to be responsible over that. I don't want to teach people how to be more aware. And if people are so adamant on seeing me one way, I don't even try to teach them how to treat me. I just would rather remove myself from the situation, which is what I did. I chose to stay in this room for way longer today, grounded and happy. I'm okay with that. I tried to have a balance being at the house, not spending every single day doing that in my more isolation mode. I do it almost like every other day or every third day. Another thing that keeps me balanced is my dad has a routine of staying up a little bit later, watching movies. I genuinely feel like it's his alone time where he craves to finally be in his own peace. So I actually understand that. You know, my sisters go to bed at 9. My stepmom usually goes to bed by that time as well, or 10. My dad usually stays up between midnight and 1, so a couple hours to himself. And during that time, I actually stay up with him to watch these movies. But I don't do it every night anymore. Tonight, I'm turning in to this room at 9 as well. And sometimes when I do come downstairs earlier, I could kind of hear the disappointment in his voice, being like, oh, you're going downstairs already? With that, it's just a constant balancing game, being around my family, because I know if I spend way too much time around them, I start feeling some type of way. I start feeling like I have to abide by their schedule and their flow of things. And no matter what, no matter how many times I've tried to create around them, spend time with them, they don't ever acknowledge it, and they don't make me feel valued as my presence in general. I don't doubt that my dad is happy when I'm watching movies with him. My dad likes to bond in silence. It's not something I like. I wish my dad would answer more questions when I ask him, but he cuts it off really quick. He doesn't like to talk about much. I want to know about my dad's teenage years, his ways of fun, but I feel that a lot of his limitations is him feeling stuck in the routine he has around him. And I feel like if I ask him questions, it will challenge that. I think right now my dad's just not ready to see more of his life or be challenged to do and think differently beyond what's happening right now. And that's okay. I don't want to force it. For me, evolution is almost a part of me now. It feels so natural to constantly grow from my environments, to constantly challenge myself. It's so natural. It's so fun. I watched this video from erinlyons the other day. One thing she said that really stuck with me was, if you're always thinking you have to overcome things, you are in a vibrational match of receiving constant challenges because you always think you need to overcome something. I even have a video on YouTube talking about overcoming these challenges, and it's something I did resonate with up until she said that. I was literally like, wow, I have constantly thought I just need to overcome stuff. Like even being in this house, when I first got here, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to overcome another wounded feminine. I need to overcome gossip in the home, not being seen in the home. Oh my God, here's more things. I see how it keeps me stuck. I just don't want that anymore. I believe I'm in divine favor, and I'm excited about that. I've seen the ways that the divine has played out in my life, has been surrounding me, inspiring me. I'm gonna keep going with that. And the balance that I'm giving myself is having free time in the evening. I almost have a more stricter schedule up until my dad comes home at 5 p.m. I've been trying to wake up at 9 a.m. consistently, but sometimes I go to bed really late because I too feel like, oh, by the time I come downstairs, I want to enjoy my alone time. My attention has been so much on my sisters, my dad's wants around the house, and how my dad expects me to help. I give attention to that when I'm here and when I'm upstairs. But when I'm downstairs, I'm finally like, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, I can finally be fully myself and okay with that. There's definitely places I would love to go, love to be, love to visit. Being back in Calgary, I actually want to try out living in Ontario again. For one, I do want to end up there again because I do have suitcases there that I would love to reunite with. My biggest objective for going back there. But I want to live there. I feel like Ontario, Toronto specifically, is a city for me. I just was unprepared being there. I'm grateful that I got to ground in Calgary. I'm grateful I got to see my family, spend time with them, see them as they truly are instead of what my inner child has hoped them to be for a long time. I'm grateful I finished my skirt. I'm grateful that I didn't have to worry about paying for every single meal for every single night. Not saying that would be an issue going forward, having the means on my own. I would love to just have a home to be stable and grounded in Toronto. But that's definitely something I want. And this is the first time I'm speaking that out loud. Said before that I've envisioned myself living abroad, but that could be a plan for later or sooner. I don't know what's really happening too much, but if I were to really choose right now, it would be finding a home in Toronto, being in Toronto. While I was there, I didn't even truly get to experience all that I wanted to experience in Toronto. More nightlife, more excitement, more fun. I feel like every time I've gone to Toronto, it's because I just needed some place to stay. Which, no shade to Go Spa, like I'm grateful I got to stay at something so luxurious and beautiful, but it wasn't home. And the first time I actually ever really stayed in Toronto was while I was homeless and lost my car. The experience was what it was at the time. I haven't experienced like having keys to a house there, getting to explore the ways I want to in the city, and then coming back to a consistent home. I've yet to see that, and that's what I want. There was some slight hope that I would end up somewhere else by the end of this month, creating the Valentines series. But honestly, coming from the spa, then the hotel, then here, those are 3 different places already within this month. So at the same time, I'm truly not complaining. Again, I'm really grateful for being able to ground here and actually see the routine that I want to build going forward. It was really nice feeling like I had routine anywhere I'd go by consistently having my crochet, my editing, my meditation. Having those things to do daily kept me spiritually grounded for sure. But now staying here has helped me be mentally grounded because I wasn't worried about paying for every single thing all the time. I'm really grateful my dad let me come back. I'm grateful he still hasn't asked me when I'm leaving. I've started to get that question from my stepmom, so I know it's only a matter of time before things change again, and I'm open to that. Do not want to hear another one of her spiels telling me to find a job so I can help them or help her future plans out. I'm so done living for other people. I'm really grateful for breaking the cycle of having kids so early, then feeling resentful about it. I feel like I see that so much within my family. I feel like I've seen that so much in general throughout a lot of my surroundings I ended up in. People think it's so fun and easy to have a baby until that baby starts to talk, until that baby has their own autonomy, their own choice, their own perspectives, then all of a sudden that child becomes a burden to these people. And that's not something I ever wanted for my kid. Getting pregnant at 25, I still knew I was not ready for that. I didn't have the father of what I desired for my children at the time. I actually couldn't even trust my partner at all, and getting pregnant was very eye-opening. And it took getting pregnant to wake me up about that relationship. And I'm grateful I didn't continue on with that with him. I want to build such a beautiful life for myself to never feel that resent by the time the baby comes. I felt the resent towards me in a lot of ways. I know my mom didn't want me. I know she wasn't ready. However your mom feels about you when she's pregnant, it really becomes part of your nervous system and your subconscious mind. Never, ever want that for my kids ever. I want to be excited my whole pregnancy. I want to feel supported and loved the whole time. I wanted to feel calm, ready, financially capable before having a child. And when I was 25, I had none of those things going on. I'm really grateful of the choice that I made. I'm building a fucking empire. I'm building a beautiful legacy. And that starts with all of my intentional choices. What I'm investing in, what I want to grow, where I put my attention towards. That all means so much to me now. Springtime is definitely coming early. I see it in the way of even Calgary warming up. I feel like what I remembered living in Calgary was winter lasted till at least April, maybe going into May. The snow sometimes goes to May, but even on Monday it said it was going to snow, and it was one of the warmest days instead. The rest of the week's forecast shows sun as well. Spring feels early. I'm happy about that. Something about that is very exciting. I'm going to be starting on another crochet project tonight. It'll be a cute little top to match with the skirt. I have yet to make myself a black top, so I'm going to do that. I feel really balanced. I'm so grateful for my journey and where it continues to lead. I've said this so much, but I still think it's only the beginning for me. I feel really good about myself. I feel really good about life. And I'm so happy about that. I was hoping to end off this vlog with a nicer scenery being outside, though while trying to watch my sisters and one of them really wanting to just stick with me today, that was a little bit impossible, because when I was outside trying to film, she was at the door like just waiting and watching me. If I did this ending any sooner, there would have been some tones of resent. One of my first clips I was trying to film was me talking about how upset I still kind of was towards my dad. We had a little bit of tension yesterday, and I got very overwhelmed. Even decided that my days here are coming to an end. I don't want to stay in this environment anymore. That part is still true, but it's without the resent. And it's really nice to embody not holding any more resent, but ready to go. What prompted me wanting to leave was just overall not feeling respected, appreciated, or valued at all being here. My stepmom and dad want more of me, expecting me to keep things running smoothly in the house. It's just not my responsibility. It literally feels like they're putting their responsibility onto me. And it's one thing to help out, and I have no problem helping out, get pointed out that it's not enough. It sparked an inner child wound of never feeling enough. Though when my dad came home after work, I felt his tone changed towards me. It was so Asian of him to do acts of service towards me instead of straight apologizing. It's so Asian. That's the way he shows love. I've been expecting and hoping him to show love towards me the way I give love, which is way more words of affirmation, quality time. My deepest love language is just talking. If I just hold out for my family just to have open conversations with me, genuinely about their thoughts, their experiences, like I do want to know about them. They don't want to go there yet. When I reframed that I was receiving love in the way that my dad knows how currently, it made me feel okay. All the things he randomly helped me with once he got home kind of put me off, because there were some things where like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and he's like, no, don't worry, I got it. I heard him say that like 3 different times today, and it was a little bit weird. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna let my dad do these things for me. Okay. I filled your soap. I stocked the bathroom. I cleaned the dishes. You go shower. Okay, Dad. Yeah, thank you. I actually was excited when he first told me that he was going out tonight. Today's a Friday night. And he came back a little bit litty. He came back at like 10:30 and knocked out right away. I do enjoy seeing my dad go hang out with his friends. It's weird. I kind of always like seeing my dad around his friends. I see him more stressed in his day-to-day routine, that when he's joyful and laughing makes me happy. Spending time with my sisters today was nice. They really wanted to watch Squid Game. I kept warning them it's pretty bloody. And then my youngest one, she's like, I like watching this. Oh, okay, true. My stepmom, she's a nail tech. She went to one of her shifts. She's been on a slight holiday for the past week and a half. The day started very tension filled between me and her. I was avoiding going upstairs. She knew I didn't want to really talk to her once I got up there. I even felt validated. A video soon after saying being passive is also a boundary if you know it feels pointless to have a conversation. And with her, I know I don't really want to have a conversation about setting boundaries and being kind to me. Like, it's just something I don't find worth talking about. I've approached setting boundaries in such a more confrontational and aggressive way many times, especially with the people I live with. And now I don't want to do that. Now I'm like, you know what? I kind of know this is not my forever place. Being around them feels like the scene in Harry Potter when Snape tries to make Harry's mind become more strong by constantly invading his mind and memories. And then Harry has to learn how to block him out so Voldemort doesn't do that anymore. That's literally how I feel being here. Around her, around them in general, but her especially. It feels like she's trying to poke and pry, and sometimes I don't even know she's conscious of it. I want to be aware that someone's trying to jab at me, even if it's through projections. I won't dismiss how I feel and how my body feels. No, I'm not comfortable around her at all. I know I don't feel safe around her at all. I don't want to keep trying to run downstairs every single time. Like, I want to be able to just sit there and be like, you don't affect me. If I can do that around family, I can do that in any room. You can't affect me. And I think this is something I'm learning right now. I don't want to dismiss the present by constantly feeling like I'm only heading towards more and forward and the future only. I'm trying to be aware of how much I am staying in the present. I can allow more things to unfold without control. Something I've been, I guess, excited about has been my love life. And if I'm going to be so real with y'all, I do listen to a lot of love tarot readings. I had a moment with myself and my ancestor. I got the advice to stop listening to those. There's some parts of when I hear those readings that I guess I hold on to, want it to happen, but then there comes an expectation from it. And it kind of would spoil a surprise if I'm constantly listening to that. And I think I actually want to be surprised when it comes to my love life. I don't have anyone I'm talking to currently. I don't have even a particular interest in mind. I stay very open and excited in that kind of way. I'm going to stop listening to those. I generally do still love listening to other tarot readers though. It's brought me comfort for the last 3 years. It really has. When things feel very unknown, and other people are going through the same thing, like these tarot readers are going through the same thing, similar things, it makes me feel community. Tarot readings have been therapeutic for me over the last few years. Yeah, sometimes I could get in trouble, and in the past I have, about holding on to the things some readers have said, especially in the beginning, like the first year listening to it. I got really attached to the timing of things, and I would get really upset, towards the reader. I'm like, you said this would happen within a few weeks. You said this is going to happen in a certain month, and nothing happened. Nothing changed. Every time I hear a tarot reader mention some sort of time, I literally tune it out. I don't listen to their suggestions of time at all. I think it's very distracting. I myself, when I do tarot readings, I don't ever try to include the time at all, like the time frame for anything to happen. I feel like there's a subconscious yearning. Like if you're someone like me who needs to see how everything is going to unfold, I don't think hearing time is very helpful at all. My experience since being back home has definitely felt crazy roller coaster vibes. But what place hasn't felt like that in the last few years either? Today, after sharing a lot of my overwhelm and reflection over how I feel about my family currently, it was really nice to see how much online support I had. It feels so nice to read messages towards me of support, especially support towards my creation. One of my favorite things is hearing support and compliments about my social media platforms, what kind of energy I give, the videos I have. When I was talking to a potential mentor last week, I mentioned that I have a theme of my platforms, and it's healing. It's healing. It's about healing. Through my own personal lens, yes. With how many comments I've received of people resonating with the things I've said, that brings me a lot of joy and a lot of hope. How many times do we see people actually talk about their own experiences very vulnerably? I don't mind being someone like that. I used to feel very protective about my journey. Here, people think that I've had such an easy life because I'm so quick to optimism. I'm so quick to living the way that I do. People assume I haven't gone through anything hard. I would get defensive about that in the past. I'm like, you have no fucking idea. And now I'm just like, I know I've gone through a lot. And it almost feels like my energy speaks for itself now. And if people still think that, I don't care. People can assume I had an easy life because I just look the way I do too. I've gotten that as well. I do know I receive pretty privilege. I think for a little while, just experienced so much negative effects about that. People think pretty people have it easy. Pretty people are automatically rich. Sucks. Like, well, no matter how much I share my experiences, it's nothing. I'm pretty, right? That's actually the title of a novel I'm writing. It's nothing. I'm pretty. I'm glad the end of this month feels much lighter than my last few weeks' reflections. I'm not sure if I'm going to be dropping a vlog every single week like I did for this month of February. I did that mainly to follow the theme of Valentine's month. I'm really enjoying vlogging a lot more, that's for sure. I know I talk a fuck ton. My vlogs just talk a lot, okay? If you vibe with my yapping, you definitely vibe with me. I love to talk this much. It brings me joy to talk so much. I was even watching some of my earliest YouTube videos today. I've always talked so much in all of my videos. I like to talk. Thank you so much for watching another vlog of mine, or if this is your first one, thank you for making it to the end. I feel very appreciative towards your time. Thank you for listening to me yap. I encourage you to start documenting your life in any way that you want. Writing, recording yourself like this through video, taking pictures. There's so many ways you can record your life, and I suggest you start doing it. It's fun, because when a year passes by, that part is the more exciting part about documenting your life. Looking back, that's the best part. My old videos don't make me feel embarrassed or anything. Wow, I did that. I've gone through that. Let's fucking go. I've changed so much. When you do record yourself, you really do see what you get stuck on, what you are changing through. I see a lot. Thank you so much. Spring is coming early. I feel it in so much ways. Spring is coming early. No expectations of when or how things are going to unfold for me. I release all control. But spring is coming early. And I'm excited for the next vlog. I hope you'll see it too.